Well, hello. How you doing today, Facebook family? I'm so excited. This is a very, very special show. Welcome to the Love Doctor Conversations, episode 2. And I'm so excited about my amazing guests that I have today. I have celebrity guests and all men panel. Like, it gets no better than this. Listen, we're going to talk about love, relationships, and a few things leading up to the event on March 19th. But most importantly, I just want to dive right into it. I hope my hope today is that men and women get an epiphany or an aha moment from this broadcast. Anything that we can do to help keep love alive, because love is just not on Valentine's Day, it is 365 days a year. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you all of my guests. And Cameron, go ahead and bring them in. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, and Tori is wrapping. Tori Smith is wrapping up something really quick, and he will be on shortly. But let's see who we are. We got so we're just missing Tori. Okay, so we're just gonna dive right into it. I would like for you guys to introduce yourself and let us know what you do, what's your social media handles, so that people can know who you are, how to connect with you, and all of those things. So we'll start with Tony first. Tony Stubbs, Mr. Ready to Love. We'll start with you, Tony. Introduce yourself.
Well, hello, my name is Tony Stubbs, originally from Palm Beach, Florida. I'm an online fitness coach. You can find me at the TTF Movement on Instagram and Facebook, and you can find me at Tonin. They call me Tonin, Toning, Tony, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook with that as well.
All right. Okay. Moving to Mr. Steve Foreman. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, yes, I am Steve Foreman, and I am an entrepreneur on many backgrounds. I work with George Foreman, and also I have a trucking company, and a part owner of several business. And you can reach me at thatforeman@gmail.com.
All right. Okay, moving to Mr. Andre Seville. I'm so proud of you for making it on this platform. I know you're a busy man, so I just thank you for taking out the time to hang out with the Love Doctor. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Right on, I'm Andre Seville, graphic designer. I'm also a photographer, so you can find me at Andre Seville Photography on email. On Instagram and Facebook, and A Seville Design is that's my main company. And I also sing and performer, so I have music out. You can also find me. I'm still on MySpace too, man.
Okay,
Oh no,
and
that's
what'd you say, Andre?
no,
Okay.
no.
Um,
Over Rico.
okay. All right. Moving right along to Mr. Rico Davis. Introduce yourself.
Hey, how you guys doing? Rico Davis. I don't know what to say, what I don't do. Just to name a few, I'm an author. Just recently wrote a book. I do a lot of motivational speaking. I'm also in the logistic industry as well. I've been a former sports agent, originally from the Carolinas, but I kind of call Florida home because I lived in Florida for 19 years before I moved to Houston, Texas. So it's been nice.
Okay. All right. And as I've stated before, we're waiting on Tori Smith of Love and Black. He had to wrap up a session right before this, so he'll be coming on shortly. And when he comes on, I will give him the opportunity to introduce himself. So let's just dive right into this conversation of love and relationships. I have a few people who've been asking me questions and want to know the men's perspective um, of men when they find their the good one or the right one. Like, how can a man tell? And I think one of the young ladies, somebody inboxed me today, and they asked me, they say to ask the men, can one of them answer or a few of them answer, how do you know if a man is into you or not when you first meet? Anyone want to answer that one?
I'll answer it.
Okay, go ahead, Rico.
It's it's kind of hard to put it in words. I always say you will know. And when I say that, it's more of a body language. It's the communication, just between the way two people bond. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything. You can just feel the connection.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. You should be able to feel the connection. That's right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Anybody else want to elaborate on that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Andre.
I gotta agree with him.
Oh, okay. 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 All right. So one of the other questions they told me to ask you guys is like when you're dating um and you're when you're dating and you have two or three people you're dating and you're trying to figure out which one is going to be the one. Like, how do you guys decide this is going to be the one? How do anybody want to answer that one?
I'll answer that one.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
I mean, it just depends on the energy, the communication. It's the vibe. Really for me, it's really the energy and the vibe. If especially just like if Rico says, if you have that feeling, you have that connection, it just all depends on the situation too. So
Okay. All right. So my brother Tory just logged in. We're going to bring him on and give him a chance to introduce himself.
What's up, fellas and ladies?
Yeah. The rest of the men have introduced themselves. So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to introduce who you are and what you do and how people can get in touch with you.
All right, I'm Tori Smith. I am part of the dynamic duo of Love and Black with Tori and Terry, my beautiful wife Terry. We are marriage and relationship counselors by day, and at night we are media personalities. So we host the show Love and Black on 92.1 FM. That's not my phone. Anyway, we host the show on 92.1 FM and 102.1 HD3 on Saturday mornings at 10:30. And you guys can get in touch with us at loveandblackwithtoriandterry.com.
Okay. All right. So now here is a burning question that somebody just, as a matter of fact, they're sending me questions now as we're talking. So somebody just sent the question and says, can a man tell when a lady is thirsty, when she's thirsty?
Oh, hey, Tori, I was going to say. Okay, go ahead. I was going to say, Tori, go ahead.
Would you say, Rico? Hey, happy
I was going to
birthday.
tell you to answer that since you were the last one to come in, but go ahead.
Hey man, I'm married, so I don't know about thirsty women, but yeah, but just like when that proverbial when they say guys sliding up in your DMs,
Yeah.
when the women sliding up in your DMs and they know you married,
Yeah.
and they know you do a show with your wife and they still do it, that's real thirsty.
Yeah. Very thirsty, I have to say,
Yeah.
and disrespectful, but very
That's
thirsty.
Very disrespectful.
Yeah. Yeah. Very thirsty. Okay. Somebody else want to elaborate? Tony, Rico, Steve.
thirsty?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking the same. I was gonna say the same thing. When they know you married
Yeah.
and they still slide in your DM,
Yeah.
and try to get just eat married for lunch. You already know they.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Very
a little different for me. I'm single, so I
right.
don't
So,
I
yeah, I
don't
want to hear your perspective.
know.
Yeah.
Thirstiness is out there, so I'm not too sure. I can't measure the thirstiness right now.
Hey, Tony, just one. So when you were on the show, right?
Yes.
There was some thirsty women on the show. So can you talk about that?
I can't say if they were thirsty or not. I think that's just how it was portrayed, how it was set up. Because from when I had the conversations with all the ladies, to me, it wasn't nobody really thirsty. I honestly believe that the majority of the women out there was out there trying to make a connection. So it's TV, man. They try to make things look a certain way and just try to make it seem like they're just coming on to us, and it wasn't like that at all. Like, we were all together all the time. We were almost pretty much like a dysfunctional family, because you have to remember it was taped during the pandemic. So we were all together all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, so as being a man, and like they said, is it appropriate for a woman to, like for you, Tony, since you're single, is it appropriate for a woman to approach you? Like, is that okay with you, or do you rather be the pursuer?
Oh, I have no problem. I kind of actually like it that, a woman has confidence, because it's just like us. Hey, shoot your shot, as they say. So if she's trying to shoot a shot, and I mean, she's shooting it right, I mean, hey, we can play a little one-on-one,
I like
Okay.
that one-on-one.
Andre, how do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, I get approached all the time. I'm single. I have no problem with it at all. I don't
Okay.
see, like Tony said, she feel like, especially if she see 5 other women watching you, she gonna make her move before the rest of them do.
That's right. That's right.
That's the same thing men used to do in the club, We're trying to figure out how to separate one from the herd so we can get in.
Andre, you giving away secrets, bro.
Hey, you speaking facts right now.
I love this. I love this. I love this.
Different day now. Women are more aggressive now, especially if you go to like the East Coast of California. They are super aggressive.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay. So now let me just shift gears a little bit. Okay. Let's just say that you're in a relationship. So I might be able to address this to the married men. Let's just say that you're in a relationship, and I mean, we'll just say you're married. Like, of course, I'm married. Everybody knows, Mr. Ledette and whatever. And when people see you like being a blessed couple, and and they see you having fun, and and people say, man, I wish I could have that. I wish I had that type of love, that type of relationship. What advice can any one of the married guys on the panel give to that person, like where they're like wishing they can get it, but they hadn't met the person? And like, what kind of pointers can you give a man or woman? Like, what can you tell them, like, that would help them, maybe give them some advice on when they do meet the one, or how they can go about trying to meet the one, at least just for a date, to start off for a date? Anybody want to elaborate on that? Okay, go ahead, Rico.
Of course, I'm not married yet. I am engaged. But one of the things that I can say is that is not many, but there are a few people that don't want to see you happy.
Ooh.
That's just life.
Yes.
So what you have to do is you have to put on these blindfolders, and you both have to walk down that runway like you just don't see haters.
Yes.
And they're going to come. They're going to come. And the crazy part about it is they come in all shapes and sizes. So sometimes one might look like a nun. one might look like a pastor. But you have to, as we are adults, we have to be able to sometimes recognize fake people.
That's good.
But I always say, I should say I have more respect for fake people because I know where we stand. The ones that are scary are the ones that's supposed to be your friends.
You done said a mouthful. You better speak, brother. You done said a mouthful.
Just block out the negativity. You keep doing you. together,
Yes.
and the rest will follow.
That's it. Oh my God, you get that.
What was the question again?
You done forgot the question, Charlie. The
Yeah,
question was like if you're married, or in a relationship, and you're doing good, and you have like people around you, like family or friends, and they're like, man, I wish I had that type of relationship or that type of marriage. Like, how can I get that? Like they're wishing for it, wanting it. So what kind of advice
okay.
could you? Yes. Okay.
I'm single. I don't have to be married for this one.
Uh-oh,
So now, especially, I agree totally 100% with what Rico is saying. You're going to have haters out there. But if you have people coming up to you saying, oh, I wish I had what y'all had.
Yeah.
Well, for one, they're already tripping because one, you can't have what we have. You got to have what you have. And then on top of that, clearly, you're not loving yourself enough to the point you're over here trying to have somebody else's relationship.
Oh, wow, good point.
Wait a minute now. Hold on.
Won't get it twisted because I'm single don't mean I know about a little love and communication.
You better say it. I love it. I love your perspective on it. I love it. Oh my
Tony
goodness.
really made a good point on that because it is about being yourself in a relationship and not being with somebody else. One of the first things I would say to someone, and we have said it before, is don't covet somebody else's relationship because you don't know. I mean, people may look fine on the outside, but you don't know what's going on behind closed doors, for one. Yeah. So you might not want that type of relationship, right? Yeah. But two, I mean, you and your partner, I mean, you have to be in sync enough to know that, hey, we are that couple. No matter what happens, between us, like behind closed doors or whatever, we're not fronting on the outside. So nobody will say, oh, they this or that, right? So when somebody sees you, they're seeing the real you, and I think that's what they want to be, versus like maybe your lifestyle, something like that. They want what you have in the sense of happiness, right. That the joy in a relationship, right? So I would tell them to identify what their joy is, what their version of joy is, and so what they want to see with their with the person that they're with, or if they're looking for someone, so what they want to see in a relationship.
Yes. And as the love doctor, I always give the advice of always be complete with yourself. Mm-hmm. Always be complete with yourself. If you can make sure that you're complete in your whole, and then when you meet somebody else and they're complete in their whole, now you're two complete people. Nobody else can complete you. You have to be complete on your own. And so when you meet somebody else, they're a bonus to your completeness. Yeah. And you're a bonus to them, and that's my advice that I always give people, whether you're married or single, whatever. Always be complete within yourself. Nobody can complete you. Nobody. You have to be complete on your own. That's all.
Dr. Lizette, talking about being complete. Mm-hmm. We hear people all the time say, hey, marriage is 50-50, or being in a relationship is 50-50. Mm-hmm. It's 100-100.
It's 100-100. That's right, brother.
100-100. Yeah,
that's right.
You got to be all in, because
all in.
We always say marriage ain't for punks, right? And it's not. I mean, because you're gonna go through some stuff in a relationship that you be like, dang, I don't need this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But because you want to be with that person, because you love that person, you're gonna endure, you're gonna put up with, and I hate to say get along to get along, right? But that's what a lot of people do. But you really have to come in being whole, 100.
Right. So one of my passions of what I'm trying to do for this event that's coming up on March 19th, I am literally trying to have single people come on out on March 19th. It's my birthday. I'm also launching a new wine, A Taste of Love. And then I'm also trying to match make singles. And so, but in order to match make you, when you go on Eventbrite to purchase a ticket, there's a questionnaire on there that asks you all these questions. And so if you're able to, provide me information, my goal is to try to pull the profiles, kind of look over them, kind of speak with the people and see if I can connect someone. If I can connect you, then I will pay for your first date. I'm trying to pick 3 couples. Now, if we get more, I'm okay with that. But minimum, I'm trying to get 3. And so to that effect, for people that are, that are trying to come to the event and they're trying to fill it out and they feel like that they're introvert and they don't want to come because they don't know the people, they don't know me and all of that. When you're single, what do you guys suggest on, well, I can ask Tony and Andre, if you heard of an event like this that I was doing, and you didn't know the person, would you come out to it to just say, hey, you never know what might happen? Would you come out to it, or would you be like, no, that don't sound like nothing I would want to do? What do you think, Tony and Andre?
I'm open. Very open.
Okay.
You know, I don't mind making connections with ladies.
Absolutely. How about you, Andre?
I'm open. You never know.
That's exactly. So that's all I'm trying to do is pull it all together. So let's just say we get to the event, and if you all are coming to the event and we get to the event and we have somebody that we connect. All I want you guys to do, the married people on the panel, let's cheer them on, just for a date. All we asking for is a first date. That's it. We don't know what's going to go down the line and all that, Now, later down the line, if they want to get married or something like that, that's something that's a service I may be able to provide to them, But right now, we're just talking about just a simple date. So we are going to, for the people that don't know about the event, we're going to show a really quick commercial of it, just so that people will know what it is. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Purpose. Get ready for the Love Doctor's birthday bash.
It's your birthday.
Join Dr. Bernito Leggett for the Mix and Mingle event of the year. If you're single, dating, or married, and are 35 and up, get ready for a night of live entertainment featuring Kyron, a.k.a. Mr. Houston, and more. Saturday, March 19th, 8 p.m. at the 366 Sky Lounge and Event Center, 363 North Sam Houston Parkway. Tickets available at eventbrite.com, which includes dinner and a free bottle of wine. Call 713-256-4838.
Okay, so that is the event that's going on March 19th. That is my birthday. That is where the Love Doctor's trying to have a mix and mingle, trying to have couples come out and celebrate, and we enjoy the wine and all of that. But the reason why I'm on this conversation is because I would like for you guys, I'm going to ask you guys one by one to define. I'm going to start with you, Tony, because you're to the right of me. What is your definition of love? How do you describe love? Like if you ever met a person on the spot and you just know that she the one, or you feel it, like you say, that vibe or whatever, how do you describe love? What is love to you?
Love is you loving yourself, period, and you being at peace with yourself. Because I need you to have some peace and some joy in your life. I need that type of energy because, as you know, there's a lot going on out in this world. But love to me is love and peace within yourself. Because, like you said, I can't fill you up. All I can do is just be an overflow for you, because we shouldn't be sucking each other's energy. It should be just a nice flow, and we just flowing with one another and making things happen. So that's what's love to me.
Yes, I love it. Steve, what is your definition of love?
My definition of love is the flow of the energy, and also it's the connection that you have, the vibe. If you both on the same accord, and I have a thing, about love, first on meeting a woman, when you meet that one woman that you really like, and it's not about the looks to me, it's more about being on the same accord. You know what I'm saying? When I say same accord, I mean you're sharing the same energy. And when you really, really know that you love that person and y'all love each other, it's like you trying to get this word out. Like I'm trying to say this certain word, and she, helps you out with the, like you trying to say, okay, yeah, baby, I'm trying to go and do, and you go to study and she help you with the last two words that you're
You
trying to
complete your
say.
sentence.
That's that
Yeah.
connection. That's
Yeah.
when you know that she is the one for you, because y'all sharing the same energy,
Yeah.
and that's how you know that is true love.
All right. I love it. I love it. Okay. Tori.
First of all, I agree with Tony and Steve. So those are two important factors in it. Me personally, I think also that you have to be emotionally attuned with each other to feel that love. And being emotionally attuned is the same thing like Steve was saying about having a connection.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to connect with each other from a spiritual level, a mental level, and a physical level.
Yes.
And if you don't have
Yes.
that, I mean, you don't have that's not what I consider love. And I think it actually goes a little deeper than that, though. One of the things that I like to do is I tell people to take love out of the equation. What's your why?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you can define what your why is in somebody, then love is going to be there anyway. But now you have more reason to enforce that love.
I like it. I like it. Great answer. Okay, Mr. Andre, what is your definition of love?
To me, it's like an unconditional feeling. You're willing to deal. I mean, every man knows when he sees that. Every man has seen that one woman, and it's like everything changed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in here and in here.
Yes.
You start thinking things. He's about to change her life. She don't even know he exists yet. And it's like Tony was talking about. You look at her before you know her. I could love her. I don't even
Yes.
know her yet. But what I see right now, and I watch the way she act, I don't see a bunch of men around her or whatever. She's very classy, very much. She might be a damn fool at home, but right now, I'm seeing. I'm okay. I can be unconditional, and the same way I'm looking at her. If I'm looking at her and judging her and think she got some flaws, I got to look like Tony said. I got to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna have to look at me and deal with whatever I got to deal with too. So it's definitely, to me, it's unconditional. But every man knows that feeling when you see that one. It's
Yeah.
like I asked every man I meet that's been married for a long time. I asked myself, okay, when you first saw her, he take over the conversation. Oh, I knew that was it. She was
Yeah.
it. Tori can tell you. Tori, she was it right there. It's just unconditional. Whatever's wrong with her, I'm gonna deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna deal with me too.
That's right. That's right. I love that. I love that. Steve Harvey says that when he first met his wife, Marjorie, he knew, like he said, he instantly knew that she was the one when he met her. She came to his show and she was at, I think, the front row or the second row or something. And when he saw her, he instantly knew she was the one. So, Rico, what is your definition?
He told everybody that night that you gonna be my wife.
Mm-hmm. He sure did. Yeah, he tells that story all the time. So, Rico, what is your definition of love?
Uh, Love for me is communication.
Mm-hmm.
Love to me is learning each other.
Yes.
At one time, well, I won't say one time, for a lot of years, I always wanted the perfect woman. Sometimes it might take you a long time to realize that there ain't nobody perfect.
Correct.
So what I had to realize is that I had to make it a perfect situation.
Mm.
When you start accepting the other person for whatever flaws, if they have any, that's love.
Mm.
Because a lot of times when I was younger, if there was something that I just don't like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But you have to start looking at the person through flesh. You got to look through this person and look at their soul, because when you feel you got the right person, like the woman that I'm with now, I saw her heart.
Yes.
So when I saw her heart, anything else, it didn't matter to me, because when you see her heart, you see the
Yes.
trueness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and you got a good one. You got a good one. She's a beautiful. I love her and I love her heart. That's right. You got a good one. That's right. And I'm glad that you say that about the heart. The heart tells a whole lot. It tells a whole lot about a person. I try to, when I'm coaching my clients behind the scene and all that, I try to tell them that you can portray to be someone out in the open. You can portray to be one person, and then when you get home you're another person. You still got to deal with who you are in the mirror at the end of the day. You still got to deal with who you are. So my advice to people when I try to explain to them, like when they're wanting, oh, I just want a man, or some people with the negative, oh, there is no more good men, all of this, whatever. I said, listen, what you say, your mouth is powerful. What you say and what you think is powerful. So if you say there's no good men out there, that's what it is. If you say you'll never meet anybody, that's what it's going to be. You got to be willing to know that you're going to meet someone, and that you have what it takes to meet that person, and that person have what it takes for you to meet them. You got to know that in your heart. If you don't think positive and speak those things positive on when you want to meet somebody, then you'll never get it. You'll never get it. You have to speak it. You have to say, I'm ready for love. I'm ready to receive love. I'm gonna get myself right. I'm gonna make sure I'm ready. I'm gonna make sure I'm wife ready, or I'm gonna make sure I'm girlfriend ready. I'm gonna make sure I'm dateable. Because sometimes you're not even dateable. You got to be easy to love. You got to be easy to love. You can't be difficult. When you first meet somebody, you may get 70 to 80% of what you really like. And then maybe you can tweak the other 10% as time goes. You're not going to, like Rico say, you're not going to meet somebody that's 100%. You're not. So go ahead, Rico.
I had one of the questions because I hear some women say things like this. If I want a man, I can go and get one. And my question is always this: why do they feel that men are like at a supermarket on the top shelf? I can just go and get one. No, if you can get one, you would have had one.
Yes.
So why do they say that?
I think it's in their mind.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think it's in their mind. And like some people are in their own thoughts. And when you're in your own thoughts, it's kind of hard to break a person out of that. And to me, that's the person that does need like the therapy or a coach or, somebody to talk to, because a lot of people's thoughts they're in their own mind. They're in their own head.
And if they're getting what they said, I just want to go and get one, I feel like at that point now you're settling, because you're not really getting what you want. You're just getting what's available.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I totally agree with you.
I totally agree with you, Doc, on the on speaking what you want into your life, because I tell a lot of my clients, the men and the women, about speaking what they want. And I notice a lot of us, a lot of women especially, because I have a lot of more women clients. They're always telling me about what they don't want in a man. Right. And they're always speaking it over and over and over and over. And I'm just like, you're never going to get what you want because you keep thinking about what you don't want. And when you keep saying it, that's what you're going to get. And I tell people it's all about energy. It's all about flow.
It's all about it.
You're always angry. I don't want this. I don't want that. Boom, boom. Here he comes. Here go 5, 6 more coming your way. Why does this keep happening? Because you keep asking for it. You keep saying it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Totally agree, man. You put that energy out there. And what happens too is that your mind believes what your mouth says.
Yes.
So you got to be careful what you're putting out in the atmosphere as well.
Got to be 100%.
And another thing, I'm not saying that women have to lower their standards, but a woman can't say, "I want a man over 6 feet with a 6-pack, with a 800 credit score, with a 6-figure job." But you coming to the table, maybe not in shape, maybe not making over 50,000.
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
Stop asking for what you can't provide.
Exactly.
Oh, you hit that on the
Oh,
nose.
Rico.
You hit that on the nose. I
Rico
tell
says
my
something
clients
that most men want to say, but they don't.
yes, I say it. I tell my clients that this is what I tell my clients. When they tell me they want a man with a six pack, they want this, they want that. I say, listen, you don't have a six pack. I said, if most of the time a person with a six pack wants another person with a six pack because they're attracted by their health and fitness. That's what that's what they do. But my thing is, I'm like you. If you don't have something to bring to the table, and if your credit scoring 700-800, how you gonna want somebody that's credit score 700-800? You can come together, meet in the middle, and still be a great couple and grow together. So look, you hit that on the head.
That part.
You hit that on
part.
the head. That's man, that's everything. You cannot wish and want for what you are not. You can't, because you got to have yourself ready. Now, let's just say, now my heart goes out to like the entrepreneurs, right? The women or the men that got it going on. They got their business, they crushing their goals, they doing this, they doing that. But when they come home, they're by themselves. My heart goes out to them, because I know, eventually you want somebody to be special. Not saying you got to get married, but you want somebody that you can cuddle with, have dinner, go enjoy life with, or whatever, and you just see what happens. And so, what do y'all think? And y'all, whoever wants to raise their hand, answer the question. What do you think that's stopping those type of people from actually meeting somebody to at least just having a companion? What do you think?
One of the things that I can say just throughout my years of experience of knowing professional women, a lot of them are so independent and they're lonely.
Mm-hmm.
They have to put this wall down.
Yes.
And they say the same thing. I don't want to be hurt. Well, hell, we all don't want to be hurt. But at some point in your life, in order for you to want to be loved, you have to show love.
That's it.
Nobody can't love you when you got a wall up.
That's right. You got to be ready to receive love. That's right.
So, I mean, that's just, I
Really
don't know what to say. I mean, I don't have to worry about those things, but I'm just trying to say for the next person, trying to help them.
This is good. This is good, because this is my whole purpose for having you guys on here. And I thank you so much for being on here, having this conversation, because I want somebody to get an epiphany and aha, say like, wow, I learned something from that broadcast. That's my whole purpose for doing this. And another thing, for you guys to share with your friends, and guy friends, and tell them, hey, look, it's a mix and mingle thing going on 19. Come on out and hang out. We've all been, the pandemic has just, it done tore us all up. And we're going on 2 years with it. Every time March come around, March 19th, that's the anniversary of it, because March 19th in 2020, that's when they shut it down, and it's coming up again. And I always know it because that's around my birthday. So because, we have the opportunity to get out and go have a good time, I think everybody should come on out and we just enjoy that night. Whatever happens, happens. If some people connect, they do. If they don't, they don't. The best thing you'll have is a bottle of wine to take home with you, some good music, because Kylan is performing, Mr. Houston, he's performing, and he's going to have the band and the DJ. The least that can happen is you can come out and have some fun. Get away from everything for a couple hours and come on out and have some fun. But I really, really, really like what you guys just said. I have told my clients that so many times. You cannot wish for what you're not and what you don't have. You can't. It's impossible. It's impossible. You have to be real with yourself. And I like what you said, Rico. You got to bring that wall down. You have to. And a lot of times I hear a lot of women and men say what they ain't going to do, what they ain't going to tolerate. And this, I'm like, okay, well, that's why you're still by yourself, because you have already prejudged the situation. You don't know when you really meet somebody that you connect with, you don't know what you're willing to do. You know what I mean? Like if you really connect like for instance, let's just say you meet somebody and the person is vegan. Okay, you may not never consider being vegan, but if the person show you like, hey, this is what I eat, I'm doing this because I'm healthy and blah, 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 you may consider it. You know what I mean? But you can't just say, I'm not going to be with this person because they're vegan. You can miss out on a good man like that, or a good woman.
And I know too, because a lot of us are getting older, a lot of us are set in our own ways. And then you have to, I don't say you need to make drastic change for someone, but you need to compromise. You
Yeah.
need to be able to try to bend or adjust a little bit. We're not telling you to come in there and change your whole lifestyle because again, we all set with our lives or careers, and I don't expect anybody to just drastically change, but you need to be able to adjust if you want love.
That's it. Period. That is it.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't know. I mean, Tony, is there like anything off the top of your head that you could just put out there for everyone to just say, hey, if you're thinking about love, I would give you advice to do what?
Love yourself.
Love yourself. Okay, I love that.
Focus on loving yourself, because at the end of the day, once you fully love yourself, you're going to attract what your heart desires. But until then, you're not going to get it.
That is absolutely correct. That is absolutely correct. I agree with you 200%. Because a lot of people sometimes
I agree with Tony.
Yeah. A lot of people have the flaws within themselves, and so they want to judge the other person for flaws that they haven't even fixed on themselves. You can't, like you said, you got to love yourself. And like I spoke with on a book panel, I think it was last weekend, and I was telling the young ladies on there that loving yourself is more than just taking a selfie or when you look cute and you're feeling good and all of that. It's more than that. Loving yourself is about respect. It's about your self-worth. It's about who you are when no one else is looking. It's about valuing yourself. It's about valuing your time. It's about all of those things. And so it's like when you can get all of those things together, there will be a light that gleams from you. So when you get around certain men, they will see it. If you're still hurt and still comparing your last relationship, your ex, and all of that to somebody that you're meeting new, you're never going to make room for you to meet somebody new because you're still stuck in that old place. You're still stuck in the past and you're still stuck in the old place. You can't do that. Anytime you still want to compare somebody, that's not going to work. You got to be open, receive, like you say, have yourself right and love yourself. So I thank you for that, Tony. That's absolutely right. Okay. Any thing you'd like to add to that, Steve? Because we're going to wrap it up in just a little bit because I want to give you guys back your time because I really appreciate you being on with me. Anything you have to say about that, Steve?
He pretty much covered everything. I mean, my thing is, when you just loving a person, you got to love yourself first. If you got love in your heart, what's in your heart is going to pour out in the next relationship. Whoever you come in contact with, and that, like I said it before, the energy that y'all share, in the love in your heart that's coming out, that's the same energy that you're going to share with them. That's what's going to bring you guys closer. Right. By you guys sharing the same energy, and you got to have love in your heart. And like Tony said, you got to love yourself. And if you love yourself, the love is in your heart already. So it's definitely going to pour out in the next relationship.
That's right.
So I definitely agree with all you guys.
All right. Any last minute advice, Andre, you'd like to give men or women in relationships? Or
just follow that path, love yourself, and because I want to be in love. I've been single for a long time, but this is my world here. I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm in here 18 hours a day, so I haven't, but I love to. But I wanted to ask Tony and Rico, do you think, being single, do you think that you met her or you haven't met her? Yeah, I think about that sometimes. Maybe I don't even know if.
Oh, I've met a few. To be honest with you, but for me, I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Bingo. Yeah. Bingo.
Oh yeah, I definitely miss. Oh yeah. Usually I attract ones who are pretty much ready, and it's just the timing.
Yeah. Timing is everything.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Timing is everything. Any advice you want to give, brother Tory?
Yeah, I got two things.
Okay.
One, and I tell this to men and women, right? When you come out of a relationship, and getting ready to go into a new one,
Mhm.
or even just coming out of one period, you gotta fix yourself, right? You gotta work on yourself. You gotta get counseling. You got to, and this is important if people don't understand this, you have to grieve that previous relationship
You do.
in order to get over it, like totally get over it. You have to grieve it, right?
Yes.
And then once you grieve it, then you can start working on it. You can start your healing process. When you do find that person
Mhm.
that you're interested in, a couple of you guys said it already. Like with me, I just knew, right? It's something in your heart, it's something in your soul that just recognizes the other soul in that other person, that you just know they're the one without question. You ain't got to say a word, it's just a look that you just your souls see each other, right? So what I tell everybody is to look for the fruits of the Spirit of God
Yes.
in the person, right?
Yes.
And you guys kept saying it over and over, part of it over and over again with the love part, because that's what it's all about. But love, joy, peace, long suffering, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and I think self control. You have to find all of this in that other person and in yourself in order to have a relationship that you're both gonna be happy with each other with, and most importantly, I mean, from a spiritual perspective, having that relationship, as God is your foundation, you
Mhm.
can't go wrong with that.
That's right. I like that. Very good. Very good. Okay, Rico.
I actually have three things, and one of them I want to piggyback off of what Tori just said.
Mhm.
Hurt people hurt people.
I say it all the time. Yes.
And the second thing, which I mentioned, I recently wrote a book, and in that book, I had to choose one of the women. In the end part, we talked about why I chose her. Of course, I don't want to go into details, but at
Right.
the end, there was a reason why I chose her, and I'm sure Tori know why, because in the book
Mhm.
it says it.
Mhm.
And the last thing that I want to say is that you have to love someone or treat someone how you would want to be treated.
Ha! That's good.
So what you
That
want
is
to do?
good.
Yeah.
That's it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, and listen, I'm looking at the comments, Andre. Listen, Andre, you listening?
I'm listening.
Okay, Miss Deanne, which is Rico's fiance, she
Mhm.
says she have someone for you. There it is right there. She says, I have someone for Andre. My sister is single, very good woman, and she's young. She's 58 years old. See, we're making connections already. We haven't even got to the party yet.
Yeah, got joke.
So, so I love that. Thank you, Deanne. I appreciate you. Yes, let's get some love going here. Well, anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up for everyone. I want to say thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate you taking out this time to be on this platform with me, because I'm really passionate about love. I really want to see people find love this year. And like I say, even if it's just a companion, you may meet somebody, they just may end up being a home girl or homeboy or business, whatever. Everybody is not going to lead down the aisle for a wedding, whatever. But just be open to receive love, open to date people, and make time for yourself to even explore that option. Like when you meet somebody, you'll know if their energy is bad and you can't do it or whatever. You'll know that right off the top. But just I would say to the listeners, just believe that it's possible. And like Tony said, quit saying what you don't want and because that's what you're attracting. So start saying what you do want, start being positive about that thing. And I love the way all the men on the panel expressed love and expressed relationships like perfectly. Like this couldn't have been a better panel. So I appreciate all of you guys, celebrity panel. You guys are the bomb.com. I thank y'all so much for coming on. This was excellent. And so when we get off the broadcast, I want all of you all to put in the comments, which, put in there like your website or anything, like Rico has a book, so that we all can order from each other, support each other. Like put your social media tags or whatever you have, put all that in the comments so people can see it. Because I want everybody to love on you guys and love on each other, support each other. That's what I'm all about. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so we are signing off here. We appreciate your time, social media family, and appreciate your time here. We're signing off. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Take care, Steve.